was no politics, there was nothing. And somewhere down the line, there was nothing but only the fact that kings used to wage war against another king. If they win that particular war, they capture that particular territory and start ruling it. That is how they expanded their kingdom. And at that time, the Chinese, if you look at the Chinese map today, is quite different than that map that was there before Christ. Now, this story is really, really powerful because it has a lesson in it. And I want to actually tell you this story because I feel as coaches, as faculties, as teachers, we need to have powerful stories with us, because stories do connect with people on a larger scale, because stories have an emotional connect. So listen to me very carefully, everyone. Long ago, very long ago, Chinese people basically wanted to understand how they safeguard their citizens and their people from other people attacking these Chinese people. Now, they came up with some kind of a radical, innovative, historical, monumental idea, and they wanted to basically, brainstorm themselves. They started brainstorming themselves, and they came up with this radical idea that let us basically build a wall against the Chinese territory, which is famously today known as the Great Wall of China. Now, most of the people who are watching me, you might have heard about Great Wall of
They
China,
had
but
a threat from China, from Mongolians.
sorry, sir, I couldn't hear you. Could you repeat?
They had a threat from Mongolians actually.
Okay, thank you for that information. They were Mongols surrounding them. At the same time, there were other people also surrounding them, and they were trying to basically safeguard themselves. They wanted that other kings should not attack them, and just in case they attack them, they need to safeguard themselves. So what they came up with is a radical idea, and they did this on the pretext that they brainstormed themselves, and they came up with this radical idea that let us build a wall, which today you and I know as the Chinese wall, the Great Wall of China. Now, when they started building this Great Wall of China, they never had any idea about how far this is going to go. But they started really penetrating into the fact that let us build a wall that could safeguard our citizens. And when they started building it, for some people who might not have known this fact, but if you really measure the Great Wall of China, this is approximately around 22,000 kilometers. It is rumored, I again repeat, this is rumored that the Great Wall of China is one of the things that you can actually sit into a spaceship or a rocket, get into the space and look at the planet Earth. You will be able to basically see the Great Wall of China. Again, it is rumored, it is not confirmed, but they say that the Great Wall of China is so huge that you can go into the space and still watch the planet Earth. You will be able to see the Great Wall of China. Now, the thing is, you need to understand this. They built this wall only and only with the sole purpose of protecting and safeguarding their citizens, the Chinese people. Now they started building the wall. There is no correct data available about how long it took to build the Great Wall of China, but certain critics actually say this, that they took approximately around more than 1200 years to build the Great Wall of China. People came, died, started building, other kings came, died. In this whole while, the Chinese were absolutely fighting with other people, at the same time surviving, but continuing with that. Later towards the end, why is that we don't like certain personalities who are selfish? Okay, I'll do that. Thank you, Meena ji. I'll do that. If I have time, because I've been given a very short time based upon, because this is the end of the session. So I'll kind of, if I have time, I'll definitely. If not, you always can get in touch with me personally, because I take a lot of corporate sessions. So, anytime you people feel that you want to get in touch with me for anything, for your colleges, for your students, you please feel free to do that with me. Now, these people started building it. Approximately, it's been said that 1,200, they have actually taken time to build the Great Wall of China. Now, the story goes like this, that after they built the Great Wall of China, these guys thought to themselves that we are now safe, secured, absolutely safeguarded, and nobody would. Because you know what? If any person, a layman, would look at the Great Wall of China, the first thought that will cross their mind is, oh my God, it is huge, it is massive, it is monumental. We will not be able to summit this wall. We will not be able to climb this wall. But unfortunately, as soon as they built the wall and they were thinking that they can rest on their laurels out here, they basically were attacked and captured 3 times after immediately building the Great Wall of China. So my story is clear. The Chinese built the Great Wall of China only to safeguard the citizens. Immediately after they built the Great Wall of China, which is monumental, huge, massive, they were attacked and captured 3 times after the wall, was built, completed. Now, for all those people who are watching this, I just want this session to be interactive. Don't think that I'm asking you questions, probably to show across, showcase some kind of my talent. I'm absolutely, not known for that. So could you basically tell me what could have been the reason and how did these people came into the Chinese territory in spite of Great Wall of China being in place? I mean, it's like huge wall. It's unable to, and before you could give me the answers, I want to clarify with you people that they didn't come through seas or, boats or oceans. They didn't come through underground bunkers. They didn't come through because we didn't have the technology of fighter jets. They didn't come through air, but they came through something that I want to know from you people. Could you basically take a wild guess, take a shot? How did these people manage, the enemies manage to enter the Chinese territory? Anybody?
The Mongolians lived adjacent to the China only, sir, border area.
Okay,
It is a bordered area, bordered to China.
right. Okay, great. That's a nice guess. That's a really good answer. I appreciate that. Played mind game, Murli sir. Okay, appreciate it. Anyone else? Could you take a guess? Anyone else out here?
Maybe a tunnel,
Minaji,
underground
maybe
tunnel.
trick the bribe. Yes. Here we are. Yeah, somebody said tunnel. Yes, someone. Okay,
Underground tunnel.
Minaji, yes. Okay, so we got the answer because some people are typing in the chat box. We got the answer. Yeah, Pratimaji, absolutely. Okay, now the thing is, three times immediately after building the Great Wall of China, these people entered, the enemies entered by not doing anything but just by bribing the soldiers who were standing and guarding the territory or the borders of the Chinese territory. I repeat, these people bribed the people who were the soldiers standing and guarding the Great Wall of China, the Chinese territory at their borders. Now, you must be wondering, what is the story has a significance with this particular session? Because I'm not just come here to probably, flap my gums or blabber my mouth for the sake of just doing it. But I do have a strong message, a connection, which I wanted to basically talk about through this particular story with you people. Now, when I said to you people, these people bribed, you need to understand that in those days, only the kings and the ministers in the king's army had access to anything which was known as silver or pearls or gold. Today, if you feel like buying gold, you go to Malabar Gold, you go to Lalita Jewelers, you go to Joy Alucas, you go to Jaws Alucas, and you buy whatever you want to buy because you can do that. But in those days, the soldiers were standing and guarding the border of Chinese territory. They didn't have an access to all these things. So enemies came. They told them that we are bribing you for the matter of fact that you can take this little silver, little ornament, go far away from this place, settle down with your families, and live a happy life. And please don't stay back here to fight with us because you might die in the battle. So these people thought, these Chinese thought, yeah, that's a good idea. You know what, anyways, I'm going to do this for the rest of my life. Why don't I take this little silver, little gold, little ornaments and move far away from this place with my family and settle down there happily living ever after? Now, this is how these people actually entered the Chinese territory. Now, my message to you people in this particular story is very loud and clear. Please understand, in the process of building, I repeat, I'm sharing something profound. Pay your attention 100%. In the process of building the Great Wall of China, the Chinese have forgotten to build the character of the soldiers. I repeat, in the process of building the Great Wall of China, the Chinese have forgotten to build the character of the soldiers. Now, this mistake, which happened centuries ago, years ago, is absolutely done by most of us in today's time. And I'll let you know how you're doing that. In the process of actually going beyond something, that elusive success, that insignificant, uh, I would say, personality that you want out of your life. You want that fame, that popularity. And you know what? You picked up these traits from the society. This is not exactly. I want to actually ask this to you people. I'm sure everyone's answers will be the same as I think. Tomorrow, understand, if this world is basically, absolutely collapsed and it's like, doomsday and everything is, completely destroyed. And you are the only one who's alive in this world with not a single human being on this planet Earth, on this God's green earth. Can you understand, will you really value the house to be something like a luxurious house, that car to be like something like a luxury car? Would it really matter to you that you're living in a luxurious house? If you're alone in this world, would you really think of, do I buy a big house to just showcase in the society? Would the car really matter that it's a BMW 7 Series or it's a convertible Mercedes Benz? It really hardly matters. But what we have done is, over a period of time, to all my South Indian friends, I'm a South Indian, born and brought up South Indian. I want to tell you this because this practice a lot all over the world, but especially in India. Somewhere down the line, last 100 years, things have actually drastically changed. Now, I want to say this to you people who are listening to me. Understand this, please. Understand this. In the process of actually your life being dedicated to buying a house, a car, some savings in your bank account, you have forgotten to build your potential. What is the real significance of you people in this world? Are you trying to impact? Why are you picking up traits from the society? Just because I came across recently a friend of mine who's a trainer. Last 2 years there was a pandemic, so we've gone through some kind of financial turmoil. All the trainers and all those people who have their businesses, they know what I'm talking about. So this trainer comes to me and says, you know what, I am unable to make a house over a period of time. I'm unable to buy a good car for my family. So I feel I'm a failure. His his mindset did not come from the fact that we were struggling and everyone was struggling. He started comparing himself too much with other people. And that's what made a difference. And this is what we are doing. You know what? Why are you buying a house to pay that EMI for the rest of your life? Just because you want to showcase in the society that today I own a house. Do you know that when you buy a house, I'm just giving you an example. I'm not trying to change your mindset. Just in case you people feel that I live like this and I'm happy with that, please go ahead. But I'm just quoting an example. We are buying houses not to basically, because everyone are doing that, we are also doing that. We hear people around, he bought a 3-bedroom house, she bought a luxurious house, he got a 2-bedroom house, and we want to really go for it. Chinese did this. In the process of just concentrating on the Great Wall of China, they forgot to build the character of the soldiers. Now, today, we Indians are doing it. In the process of that elusive success, in the process of that insignificant personality, you are absolutely making a mess out of your life. It hardly matters. I'm telling you, it doesn't really matter. I see people who bought houses and they really can't take leave for 1 month and go somewhere for vacation. You know why? Because they have to pay the EMI, and the EMIs come from the job, from their business. And just in case they want to take a break for the next 20 years, they can't. And if you ask somebody who's in their 40s and 50s, look back at their life, the last 10-15 years, they were on an autopilot mode. What do I mean by autopilot mode? Getting up in the morning, going to the job, coming back in the evening, spending time with the children. And this is like crazy. I mean, you are on an autopilot mode. Now, some people who are listening to me, you can pose a question to me: why don't we change? I mean, if we know all these things, why don't we change? And we know that we want to change, but sometimes change is absolutely difficult. It is absolutely daunting. It is absolutely threatening, because that is the reason people don't change. You can ask me, why don't people change in spite of knowing certain things in life? Why are we following certain things which are actually not that we want deep inside, at the core of your heart? Try to understand at the core of your heart. Why is that people know that they are adopting to the society standards and they're living their life on the same standards? You're buying a house, you're buying a car just because you want to validate yourself that I am also having certain thing in my life which society will appreciate, which the society will say, okay, what happened? People come to you, they talk about all these things. So today I want to tell you this. I'm openly telling you this. This is something that is close to my heart. I think we've lived enough trying to basically, meet the expectations of others. It can be family. There are certain women, I'm sure, who are listening to me right now. You've been an amazing mother. You've been a wonderful wife. At the end of the day, there are certain sacrifices that you've done at the core of your heart, and that is why you are an amazing mother and a wife. And if you were given a chance to go back and rewind yourself, I'm sure you'll make a lot of changes, a lot of changes. You'll not live in an autopilot mode. There are some guys who are, men who are sitting of my age, lesser than me, or younger than me, or elder than me. You have done a significant role in your life as a father, as a husband, as a son. Somewhere down the line, you have forgotten to basically take the slice of your life, taste the slice of your life. And that is the reason some people, if you look at them, ask them deep inside, do you have any regrets? They might not say this openly to you, but they have a lot of regrets. And if you give them a chance to go back and actually live their life, they will make this life again something different, not the same way they lived their life. Because I and you have made some blunders. I and you have made some kind of wrong decisions. I and you have made certain things that have actually got us to this level. But the best part is, as I said to you people, please understand, even now, you people can really, really change. And I can change, and you can change. And change happens at any point of age, no matter what your background is. So the thing is, if you think, why is it so hard to change? I'll just give this answer in one line. We stopped living life. We started living patterns. I repeat, I repeat. We stopped living life. We started living patterns. Most of the people who are basically now, right now, not really satisfied with their lives, take a look at yourself closely. Take a careful look at yourself. You stop living life. You're living a pattern that by default has become your pattern. And that pattern, unfortunately, is like a loop. You go in, you come out, you go in, you come out, and there is no big change happening to you people. I heard a story like this, which is like, really, really close to my heart again. Why don't people change? And thank you, Meenaji. Thank you so much for those comments that you people are pouring in here. I love your comments. As human nature, people love to be appreciated. So thank you so much. Though I'm quite old enough to be appreciated, but then again, thank you so much. It makes a lot of difference in my life. Uh, I heard this thing, which I wanted to share with you people. So people don't change in spite of going through pain. People don't change in spite of going through some kind of turmoil. People don't change in spite of actually, really having that experiences that are not really welcoming. You know why? There was this father and son going through a village. They were passing through some homes, and at one of the huts outside, they saw a dog sitting outside and howling and crying in pain. No, they were passing through, and this guy, this little kid who was like around 6, 7 years old kid, was holding his father's hand, passing through that hut, through his village, and he noticed that the dog is howling in pain, crying in pain. He looks at the dog, turns back to his father, and asks his father, "Dad, why is this dog crying and howling in pain?" The father takes a careful look at the dog and he says, while walking, they didn't stop there, while walking, he says, "Son, the dog is basically sitting on a nail which is piercing it through its foot. And that foot, since it's piercing through its foot, it's paining and it's like hurting him. And that is the reason the dog is howling and crying." So he listens to the explanation. He walks, with his father without telling him a word. Then he goes a little far. He understands certain thing. He turns back to his father and asks again, "Dad, I want to ask you a question. If it is paining, if it is hurting for the dog, why don't it gets up? Why don't it gets up and change its place? Why don't it gets up and move from that particular place? Because it's hurting. The nail is hurting him." The father smiles at the son and tells the son, "You know what? That pain is hurting him, but it's not hurting him so much that he will take the action of getting up from that particular place and go to some other place to sit back." So for that dog, taking action, getting up from that place is more than that pain. So he thinks, "I'll take that pain no matter what, but I am too lazy. I'm too old. I am too uneducated. I am too much like, whatever with my beliefs. So I don't want to change myself." So that pain, it sits back there, it hurts it. But then again, the dog doesn't move. So kind of, we are living our lives in the same old pattern. This is what is happening with us. It is paining. That area is painful. But you're thinking, you know what? I have seen, you might have also seen, I've come across people who are waiting to get fit. Whenever they think, no, this is like today, Saturday, I'm definitely going to start from Monday. Monday is something that I really want to go and do it. My dear folks who are listening to me, someday is not a weekday. I repeat, someday is not a weekday. Okay, because you have Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, you have these days. Someday I'm going to get fit. Someday I'm going to start a business. Someday I'm going to live my life. Someday I'm going to do what I want to do. Someday is not a goddamn weekday, my dears. And it's not going to help us out, anyone, if you think that someday things are going to change, because this is not something that, it's going to change all by yourselves. So this is what I basically wanted to say. And the last thing which I wanted to basically share with you people is, uh, since I have limited time, okay, it's coming to 3 o'clock. Uh, Everything happens based upon universal laws. Yes, there is a saying in English which goes like this. Thank you, but I would like to say, they say everything happens for a reason, uh, and I would like to quote this. Yes, everything happens for a reason, but sometimes the reason is it happened to us because we were too stupid to understand. No, there's a saying like this in English, all right? So everything happens for a reason. We blame it on a reason. Like, no, it's a reason. There is some karanam because of which it's happened. Koi to koi wajah hogi jiski wajah se ye hua hai. But sometimes the reason is we are too stupid to understand certain things and took some blunders, decisions which were absolutely wrong. And that is the reason those happen. So it's not always, for me, not really right to blame because of some reason it might have happened. If it happens automatically, there should be a reason. There should be a universal law. There should be that infinite intelligence. There should be that cherisher, that Lord, that God that is sitting above and making some decisions. Because end of the day, it goes back to the Lord Almighty to make the decisions in your life. But effort is absolutely under your control. Most people fail to realize this, that you know what, they are trying to control which is not under their control, and that is where stress stems up from. If you are trying to control something that is not under your control, that is the basic cause, the root cause of stress. If I am attending an interview, trust me, I am more concerned about what's the outcome of the interview. Am I impressing the people out there? Are they really liking me? I am not in control of these things. What is in control of my thing is, for example, I'll take this particular virtual seminar that I'm having with you. There are certain people out here who might be liking me. There are some people out here, they might not be liking what I said. They might not be in sync with what I'm saying. But if I'm too focused about the fact that who's listening to me, who's understanding me, who's kind of in sync with me, I lose the effort and the kind of methodology and the credibility that I have with myself. So I will only try and control what I can control, and that's where stress comes up from. So last but not the least, I am a ardent fan of reading. I was never into reading. As a school kid, as a college kid, I hated reading. I'm talking about, since I'm also a coach and a trainer, I come across a lot of people who I train and coach. So I made it forcefully. I made myself start, believing in the fact that I need to read. Initially, I had a lot of difficult time, but over a period of time, I want to say this to you all. One thing is meditation. Second thing is reading, which has changed myself completely. I want to really thank that God Almighty for actually, giving me this privilege that I could uncover the secrets of reading and also meditation. I attribute a lot of success, with whatever I could get in my life through, religious practices, through meditation, through, a lot of reading. So I came across, I'm sure you might have heard this book. This is my last thing that I want to say and then end the session. Sorry if I'm taking a lot of time. I hope I can just take 5 minutes. Whoever is like here conducting this session, can I just take 5 minutes more if you're okay with that? Could you please tell me? Or if not,
Yes, sir. Go ahead. Go ahead. Not an issue.
okay, thank you so much. Thanks a lot. I'm honored, I'm privileged. Okay, last, I want to say this. I came across a very, I can give you a bunch of books, a list of books that you can change yourself completely. I have learned so many things from personal experience and some books. So one book that I came across recently is Atomic Habits, written by James Clear. And this book is like, I'm reading it for the second time now. I read it, completed. Yeah, Kusumji, I'll share my contact. My contact is with. Okay, I also would like to say before I could talk about the book that the training and placement officer, Buchi Reddy Garu. I am a good friend of Buchi Reddy Garu. He's the one who's made sure. Okay, I'm sorry. There is a vegetable cart that is going in front of my house, so you might hear some disturbances, but that's a part and parcel of being in at home. So please don't mind that. Somebody is selling chintapandu, so if anybody wants, you can actually tell me. I can get you, delivered at home. So Buchi Reddy Garu has made sure that I have, I've been a part of this session. So he called me up personally. He told me to be a part of this session. So thanks to him that I am being a part of this session where I'm meeting or talking to so many people who have not met, previously otherwise. So thank you to Buchi Reddy Garu also. If anybody is having, I'll share my contact by the end of the session. Don't have to worry, my phone number, and if you need to contact me, my other details. But yeah, Sucharan, human life is never understood by a human. Only what humans understand is nothing, living a vacuum life. Okay, good. Sucharan, thank you so much. What I want to tell this to you people is here. Atomic Habits is one book that I read, I completed, and I'm reading it for the second time. Now, there are so many insights from this books that has changed, my perspective. One thing which I want to share with you people, something profound, is he has done a research, thorough research, And he has made this possible for us to understand that through some mathematical calculation and research, he has come to a conclusion, proved it to the world through his book called Atomic Habits, that if every person is able to develop 1% every day, I repeat, if every person is able to develop 1% every day. So I'll kind of quote this by example. So for example, you decide that you just want to walk on the treadmill 1 minute per day. For example, I'm just kind of giving you an example. Or you think that you just going to read one page every day of some book that is going to help you out in conducting your life or your career. Or for that matter, you decide that you're going to basically do meditation for 1 minute every day. 1 minute, not more than that. So 1% here he talks about, if you are able to do 1% betterment of yourself every day, a mathematical calculation says that by end of 365 days, you will be 37% more successful, 37% more developed, 37% more, in whatever area, domain that you want to basically excel. You will increase, you will grow, you will develop 37% more. Can you understand 1% a day of your development? Probably reading a book, doing a meditation for one day, or probably just reading one page a one day, or just 1 minute walk in the garden on the treadmill will make you give that strength for 37% more at the end of 365 days. My dear folks, my dear friends, my dear family, please understand 37%. If you decide today on Feb 12th, 2022, Feb 12th, 2023, you will be 37% more developed, informed, and successful than what you are right now. If you can implement this one practical thing in your life, I am sure this is going to make a significant improvement and impact in everybody's life. There are so many things that I want to share with you people, but I have to respect the time. I have to respect the fact that you people have been here for a pretty long time, and you might have some other daily chores that you have to do. And since this is the fact, I can probably go on blabber, just flap my gums, blabber my mouth for the rest of another 2 hours without any disturbance or feeling tired, because at the end of the day, at the core of my heart, I do love what I'm doing. And if today's session of mine was able to at least give you that 1% kick, that 1% impact, I think I'm really glad, I'm really thankful. That will make my day. And all those people who've heard me, who've listened to me, I appreciate your feedback. Everybody has been a lovely listener and a participant. And Bitla sir, thank you so much. Bitla home, thank you so much. Everybody who's listening to me, just in case futuristically you are looking out for some kind of interaction with me, or you want my presence somewhere, please feel free. Okay, I'll share my number in the chat box for the people who are wanting my number, though it's available with the host, but still I think I'll share it. Yes. Thank you, Bhuma. You made my day. Thank you so much for a charging up session. Thank you. Thank you so much. S Faith Manjusha. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot. Thank you very much. I'm glad. I'm honored that you gave me this little time. I know I haven't, been able to take a complete session with you people, but going forward, hopefully, inshallah, next time, anytime, I get to meet you. Sir, you're looking like KTR. Oh, thank you so much. I wish I have all that power as well, so that I can, really do something to the IT education field. But thank you so much. I appreciate Murli sir. Thank you very much, Murli sir. So, guys, folks, all those eminent people, you look like Shah Rukh Khan. Oh my God. Oh, Shah Rukh Khan will commit suicide. No, no, no. I'm just a normal guy. Nothing great about me as such. I'm just a next door guy. So thank you so much for that appreciation, everyone who's looking at me. But yeah, Pratima ma'am, thank you so much. Thank you. I'm glad. I'm honored. You told me that. Okay. So to end this session, I just want to say this to you people. Uh, I am so happy, trying to be a part of this session. It really made a difference in my life. But meeting you across, all these people on different various platforms, yeah, whatever I said, it's like from the bottom of my heart. I believe in that. I practice that. So thank you so much. Take care, and I'll see you soon. If in case we get to meet that physical session, I'd love to interact with you people more. Thanks a lot. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Way before I could say something, आपकी शान में जो भी हम बोलना चाहते थे, शायद बाकी के लोग बहुत कुछ बोल गए. So I would like to echo with them in the sense that you have given a very human perspective on relationships and how people should be dealing with each other. Thank you, sir. That was very enlightening and a lively one at that. So I would like to continue the valedictory function forward by inviting the chief guest for today's valedictory function, Dr. R.T. Bedre, Professor, Director, UGC, HRDC, Sagar University, Madhya Pradesh. Dr. R.T. Bedre graduated from Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, Affiliated College, Maharashtra in 1994 with English, History, Public Administration as special subjects. He did his master's in English from Maharashtra Udayagiri Mahavidyalaya, Udgir affiliated to the same university in 1996 with the gold medal. Sir's research degrees, Sir has completed his MPhil degree from Madurai Kamaraj University, Tamil Nadu in 2005, the distant mode. And the Bharati Vidyapith Pune conferred him with the doctoral degree for his thesis, The Dramatic Art of Girish Karnad, a Critical Study in 2009. Sir's research projects and supervision include 3 minor research projects sponsored by UGC, 1 research project financed by Swami Ramanand Tirth Marathwada University, Nanded, Maharashtra, 1 research project financed by ICSSR, and 1 major research project sponsored by UGC. 10 candidates have been awarded degree of PhD with him as a research supervisor, and 4 candidates earned the degree of MPhil under his research guidance. Sir's publications include 7 authored books by him, 1 play in English, and 2 short stories in Marathi. Sir has also edited 4 books, alongside 50 papers that have been published in various journals, conference proceedings. Sir's career spans across, starting off with as a lecturer in English in 1996 in ACS College, Gangakhet district, Parbhani, that is Maharashtra. He moved to Sri Pandit Guru Pardarkar Mahavidyalaya, Sirsila district, as a full-time principal in September 2013. Since then, Sir has been serving Dr. Hari Singh Gaur Vishwavidyalaya, Sagar, in Madhya Pradesh as a full-time director of UGC's Human Resource Development Center since October 2019. Sir's area of interest include Indian English drama and higher education in India. Sir, we humbly request you to please take over the proceedings as today's chief guest. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I hope I'm audible.
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Thank you. First of all, I must thank Mustakji. I was listening to him very attentively, and the session was really an excellent one, at the same time fluent one. So hats off to you, sir. Now,
Thank you very much.
I'm
honored.
Thank you, sir. This is the valedictory session of this two-day online international conference. And I was discussing the things with Dr. Reddy ji in the morning. It has been unwritten rule that one should not extend it long, particularly in the valedictory session. Anyway, first of all, let me congratulate the organizing team for such wonderful organization of this two-day online international conference, which were to take place in offline mode first, but due to certain things that changed, meanwhile, we had to go for again online mode. The chairperson of this valedictory session, and the topic that is newer perspectives on LSRW practices, organized by Bokaraju, Rangaraju Institute of Engineering and Technology, Autonomous Institute in Hyderabad. Of course, the members of the management team there, Principal Dr. Praveenji, organizing committee, Dr. Reddy, who has been very regularly in touch with me, Dr. Vittal Goreji, if he is there, who proposed my name for this job. Of course, other eminent speakers whom you have been listening to since yesterday and today also, and at the same time, equally eminent participants. And I'm happy to see here Dr. Pratima Chavanji. I think I'm meeting her after some 15 or 16 years that we met in physical mode there. And dear friends, in the morning, Dr. Reddy was asking me to speak something about NEP 2020. And particularly what things are supposed to do, what things are taking place around us, and what modalities are there. My dear friend, we know that this NEP 2020, as its title goes, was introduced in 2020. And since then, it has been in constant discussion, debate, and so many things are going to take place. Henceforth, I will not be using the word government because sometimes that may bring me in some criticism or some difficulty, but I would be using the word policy makers. Because governments come and go, but sometimes policy are to be there and they continue to be implemented there. And the policymakers claimed that this is the first Indian education policy made by Indians and for the Indians, as we are in the mood of defining democracy. First Indian policy, first Indian education policy made by Indians and then for Indians. And this statement raises so many questions. So many questions. And we did not go into that. One may ask me, so what about 1964? Then what about before that in 1948? And then it is 71, 86, 92, and then NKC that happened, I think, in 2007, 8. So many things are there. And if you read this 57-page or 60-page document very carefully, and if you had an opportunity to read the previous documents, particularly NKC document, National Knowledge Commission document, you will see that so many things of NKC are reflected in this NEP document also. Anyway, claims are high, and of course, applauds are so many there. We are not going to that part. But before we see how to implement it, what issues are there, what way out may be there, I think before that, we must understand the perspectives of this policy. Because I use the word perspective in a rather different way. What intentions are there, what attitudes are there, what approaches are there. And please remember, approaches decide the content, approaches decide the models. And if you see that, the very vision of this document, it says, I would like to read some lines from here. This national education policy envisions an education system rooted in Indian ethos that contributes directly to transforming India, that is Bharat, sustainably into an equitable and vibrant knowledge society by providing a high quality education to all and thereby making India a global knowledge superpower. And so many things are there. And one more thing here, the vision of the policy is to instill among the Indians a deep-rooted pride in being Indian, not only in thought, but also in spirit, intellect, and in deeds, and as well as to develop knowledge, skill, and so many things. So please keep in mind that here attempt is made to make the impression that this policy is entirely Indian. And it also gives the other meaning that the earlier policies were not Indian through and through. And to some extent, I agree to this claim. Dr. Reddy ji, are you there? Hello? Am I with you or not? Sometimes that may create problem. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes. I need at least someone to to look at.
We are active participants, sir.
At least I want
Definitely,
someone,
definitely.
at least one person to open the video so that I can be confirmed, be assured that I am with you. So the question is that whether the earlier policies were Indian or not. Were they entirely Indian or not? My question is, of course, they were not entirely Indian. The reason is that it is historical fact that British ruled India almost for 200 years. And whatever people who led our movements in society, in politics and freedom movement and educational movement and all these people, either they were directly educated in England or they were the product of the education system that was introduced by British people in India. You may take an example. You may take example of Mahatma Gandhi ji, Jawaharlal Nehru ji, and many more. Many more. With all the front, I can say, the front line. The front line was directly English educated, or they were part of the product of this English education system. So naturally, after independence also, the impact, or I can say the influence of that particular education system was to be there. Maybe knowingly, maybe unknowingly, conscious or unconscious, was there. And right or wrong, good or bad, we have been part of this education system as being a stakeholder, sometimes as a student, sometimes as a teacher, sometimes as administrator, and so on and so forth. And we are the product of the same. Now here, for the first time, I'm using one word here, for the first time, there is an attempt to decolonize the Indian, particularly higher education system. Now, it is a matter of debate how far we will be able to decolonize it, whether there are some challenges and what kind of opposition, what kind of difficulties we may face. But of course, there are certain things, their attempt is made to decolonize it. Now, in what sense? Now, you will see that in the course of the document, certain sentences are there, deeply rooted in India, then our Nalanda, Takshashila, Vikramshila, and so on and so forth. So many things are there. Then here is an attempt to revive so-called indigenous knowledge system. That particular word is used here, indigenous knowledge system or Indian knowledge system. Now, Indian knowledge system where that is available in the form of some scriptures. I am not sure whether I should use the word scripture or not, but the books written by our great scholars, great ancient scholars. Then a certain part of our history is hidden or quoted, I can say, in our scriptures, in our temples, in our mosques, and so many things are there. At the same time, certain things remained intact because those things were not directly affected by so-called urbanization, so-called politicization, and we call them folk arts or lok vidya. So many things are there. Now, here is an attempt made to offer some, I can say, the statutory validity to such lok vidyas, such folk art, so-called Chausat Kalas, and so many things are given there. And at the same time, there is an attempt to revive all those scholars of India, all that scholarship of India that met or that were fated to face that cultural amnesia. And I don't think that was a deliberate one. Many people say that deliberate attempts were made by Indians that we should forget our past and so many things. After that, we thought, at least by not Indians. Again, we can debate what Macaulay said and what his Carter was there and so many things were there. And there are so many debates about his so-called comment that he wants to bring Indians in color and so certain things are there. Now, before that, we must see, 1 minute. Now see, and at the same time, here is an attempt to glorify our past. Now, when we say our past, yesterday is again a part of past. That day passed, the minute passed, the second passed is again the part of past. And here is an attempt to glorify, to revive that past. And particularly, again, I would like to cite some lines from the document. See what it says. The rich heritage of ancient and eternal Indian knowledge and thought has been a guiding light for this policy, particularly the pursuit of knowledge, wisdom, and truth. And remember, Gyan, Pragya, and Satya was always considered in Indian thought and philosophy as the highest human goals. And at the same time, remember, world-class institutions of ancient India such as Takshashila, Nalanda, Vikramshila, Vallabhi set the highest standard of the multidisciplinary teaching and research and hosted scholars and students from across backgrounds and countries. Now see, that education system we want to revive, that education system we want to renew. And 1 minute. And at the same time, there is a long line of the scholar to whom we are going to meet in time to come, in decade to come, maybe 2 decades, 3 decades. And the scholars, as we can hear, list is Charaka, Susruta, then Aryabhatta, Varahamihir, Bhaskaracharya, Brahmagupta, Chanakya, Chakrapani. Then so many names are Datta is there, Panini, Patanjali, Nagarjuna, Gautama, and so many Maitreyi, Gargi, so many names are there. Now, in this way, decolonization is there. At the same time, if you read the document very carefully, there is a special focus on language policy, particularly language policy. And I don't say that it is entirely new. I don't say it is entirely new because right from 1964, that Kothari Commission from Professor D.S. Kothari Commission's recommendation, that view has been very categorically, I can say, said that language must be offered in mother tongue. But here, in those documents, just some recommendations were made, some observations made, but here some guidelines are given, or I can say some roadmap is given how to do that, what can be done there, and so many things are there. And at the same time, we see that there is a special attention towards the revival of our ancient languages, particularly Sanskrit. I must say, particularly Sanskrit. Of course, other languages are also mentioned there, like Prakrit is there, Pali is there, of course, Tamil is there, Kannada is there, and a few languages are there. But special attention is given to Sanskrit. Of course, we almost all of us will agree that our ancient knowledge is, I can say, safe, it is written in Sanskrit language. Of course, I don't entirely agree with this because if I say only Sanskrit, we are talking of North India only. We are not including South India because equally classical language is Tamil, and at the same time, other languages like Kannada is there and other languages also. Then, of course, rich heritage is found there also, but here focus is given on Sanskrit language. So these are some attempts. At the same time, you will see that certain new terms are coined. Particular Indian terms that are like Swayam, Guru Dakshata, Guru Dikshant program, then Parak, Meru, then recently, I think last week when we have one more document, Vidyanjali is there. So these particular terms are there. These terms are very much Indian, very much Indian. So that way, by bringing Indian context, Indian content in our curriculum, at the same time, by reviving certain arts from our ancient India, by introducing the scholars from India, by introducing, or by, I can say, by empowering our Indian languages, such kind of attempt of decolonizing higher education is made here. Now the question is, how far we will be able to do that? But as I told you in the very beginning that so many things are there, as you know that this is a 60 or 57-page document, and as you know that it is divided into 3 parts. First, in the beginning, school education is there, then higher education is there, and then how things are going to take place, how to make it happen, things are there. Now, in school education, we know that some structure is there, and some, what new thing is introduced there is that there is some legal validity to preschool training, we can say that now. Anganwadi and other things are there. I'm not going to into those details that what earlier formula was there, that was I think 4 plus 3 plus 3 was there, then plus 2 and plus 3 was there. Nowadays 2 more years are added there. Anganwadi is there, then primary is there, post primary is there, high school is there, and then 9, 10, 11, 12 are clubbed together. These things are there. Now, as we are working in the higher education setup, we are more concerned about what changes are going to take place in higher education. And remember, there are so many changes there, and particularly if we see some principles of the document, we see that some quality universities and colleges like Takshashila and Nalanda are going to be introduced. Then there is some institutional reconstructing and I can say consolidation is there. Of course, we know that 4-year degree to be going introduced. Of course, 3-year degree will be there. At the same time, we can see that multiple entries and multiple exits are there. So these things are there. At the same time, we see that on the basis of accreditation, some ADCs or AGCs are going to be introduced. Like we can say that autonomous degree granting colleges are there. Then some constituent colleges are going to be there. And at the same time, we know that some certain institutes are going to be converted into or evolve into that research intensive universities and teaching intensive universities, and such things are there. Then at the same time, we know that of course, at present we are having 3-year degree formula, and in certain cases there was 5-year degree formula. So in engineering, I think still it is 4-year degree formula. But in our traditional courses, 3-year degree formula was there, and in certain courses like BA, BEd, BSc, BEd, 5-year degree was or 4-year integrated course was there. But now, henceforth, in our traditional courses like BA, BCom, BSc also, 3-year degree formula is to be there, and 4-year degree formula is also introduced here. And at the similarly, we can say that the duration of the master degree is going to change. If you complete your 4-year degree, then 1-year master degree will be there. And if you complete your 3-year degree, again, a 2-year master degree is going to be there. So these changes are there. At the same time, we see that, as I told you, Meru, that is multidisciplinary educational research universities. That word I used here. The policymakers have set their target that in every district there must be at least one institution which may be called Meru, where all disciplines can be brought together, and of course, the number of students will be more there. Then, international of education, that is a big target set by our policymakers. Internationalization of our higher education, because we know that there is much brain drain from India to the Western countries. There is a brain drain because so many students are going to some other countries, maybe UK, maybe US, maybe some other countries, Australia, and they get their education there, and not many of them return. They settle there only. So the government of India, or I can say the policymakers, have focused this issue, and they have tried to retain, they have tried to keep Indian talent in India itself. And there are some 3 policies being undertaken by the policymaker. One, that is make the curricula of our courses at par with the international standard. Second thing, invite first 100 foreign universities to set up their campuses in India. And third thing, that is to encourage some good universities from India to set up their campuses in the foreign land. These are the 3 things, and as we know that an international student office is being operated there at Delhi, and certain things are there. At the same time, special attention is given on teacher education also. 1 minute. Excuse me. Sorry. Some courses are going on, taken care of. So I was telling you that teacher education is given a special focus here. And now, as this college is the vocational college, we know that 1 or 2 paragraphs are devoted to the vocational education also. And as we know that it is a target set that by 2025, at least 50% of the learners in school and colleges or universities must be exposed to vocational education. 50%. Now, it is a very wonderful thing how it can be done. And at the same time, we can see that for that purpose, the help of NGOs and other things is there. Then we see the NRF is there. Of course, I'm not going to into those details. My last thing is here. These things we are going to do. We are going to increase our GR, because if I remember, by 2035, we want to make our GR 50% in higher education and 100% in school education. And of course, for that purpose, ODA system will be adopted, because open and learning system is there, then technology is being used there. At the same time, online education is there, and so many things are there. Now, my dear friends, as we know that, we know the limitation of our physical infrastructure and human resources. Because right at this present moment, there are some 1,000 plus education and universities and university-like institutes. We have some 42,000 colleges and more than, I think, some 15 lakh or something like that teachers. And we have at present some 3.84 crore students in higher education sector. And our GR, as per as the last record is there, the 26 point some 4 or something like that. Now, and we know how much we spend on higher education and education. These are the limitations. Now, facing or working against all these odds, we want to improve our GER. And for that purpose, these policy makers have come forward with some, I can say, viable things. Particularly, as far as school education is concerned, if you remember, I think some people belong to my age, they remember that Proud Shiksha Abhiyan and other things, where the adult literacy mission was there in 90s, then Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan was there. On the similar line, the policymaker wants to involve volunteers in bringing literacy at the school level or at the adult education level. At the same time, ODL system is going to make rather more, I can say, freer than it is at present now. Our universities and our colleges will have option to run ODL programs also, open and distance learning programs also, because in regular mode, we can't accommodate that much student trade. Because as I see that, if our GR at present is 26 point something, and the number is 3.84 crore, it means we have almost some 14 crore people to enroll in our education system. 14 crore people. And at present, we are facing the financial crunch and universities are not more there. Then more colleges are not being granted and teacher recruitments are not there. And we all of us know that it is quite difficult to improve our GR. And for that purpose, we know that now online Shiksha or online education is being encouraged. And I must say, thanks to this Corona and other things, that the online education has got momentum and other things there. And of course, you know what regulatory structures are going to be changed here. That if you remember exactly, let me tell you one line here. Of course, that UGC may be there, may not be there, but there is going to be one umbrella-like agency, umbrella-like faceless agency that is called Higher Education Commission of India, and some 4 bodies will be working under this umbrella term, that is National Higher Education Regulatory Council, the National Accreditation Council, Higher Education Grant Council, and General Education Council. These 4 bodies are going to be there, and they have their own function to do. Now, these things are there. Now, the last thing that I would like to share with you is that, and Dr. Reddy requested me to shed some light on this issue, particularly implementation issues. Now, my dear friends, I don't know to what particular state our participants are there. Maybe some are from MP, some are from UP, and most of the participants will be from South India. As far as my knowledge is here, my knowledge is concerned of the North India. Dr. Reddy ji, in Madhya Pradesh and in Uttar Pradesh, the implementation of this NEP 2020 has begun. Am I audible? The implementation of NEP 2020 has begun in UP and MP. And as and when reflection process or startup process, I always discuss with them what problem they are facing there. And my dear friend, the problems are more there. More problems are there. And if we want to if we want to categorize the problems, if you want to classify the problems in implementation, one thing we have to keep in mind. And Dr. Reddy, are you there?
Yeah, yes, sir. Yeah.
Please be visible. At least I want one person to be visible. Of course, for last 2 years, we have been running these courses online. But unless and until I see at least one person before me, I can't go ahead. At least one person I need before. Anyway, we know that the maximum load of higher education is borne by the states. Maximum load, I should say, more than 90%. Out of 1,000 plus universities and universities-like institutions, we have not more than 150 or 200 institutes there. Those are centrally funded or funded by center. There are some 50 central universities, some NIITs are there, IITs are there, and some standalone institutions are there. And against this number, we have more than 400 state universities. And we can just imagine what number of affiliated colleges are there. So my question is that the maximum responsibility of implementing NEP 2020 falls on the shoulders of the states and colleges and state universities there. That is one thing. Now, second thing, we are a democratic country. We have a multi-party system in India that we have to admit and we have to acknowledge also. Multi-party system and democratic system. Those days are gone now. In 60s itself, that there was a government of one party at the center, and the same party used to have government in state also. Those days are gone in 1960s itself, by the mid of the 1960s. Nowadays, there is every possibility that the one party may be having government at the center and other parties may be having government in the states. And we know nowadays the center-state relations are not on so good terms. Therefore, I told you at the very beginning that UP and MP have started implementing this NEP 2020. I don't know what are the things in Telangana and what are the things in Andhra Pradesh, Tamil and other things. And Dr. Reddy ji, it is being implemented there, NEP 2020?
Yes.
Very nice.
They're starting, sir. They're starting.
They're starting. In Maharashtra, last week, some committee set up to look into the things and how we are going to see the thing. Now, these are the things. This political disagreement in terms of party system is going to affect very bad the implementation of NEP. The second thing is that human resource. As I told you that 42,000 or something like number of colleges we are having. But if we have AISHE record with us, because every year Minister of Education, of a very nice Karnataka started. Of course, that's why I told you that if the same party is ruling state and the country, the things are going rather far there. But the things are different, delay is there. As I was telling you that. So I was telling you that there are some 42,000 plus colleges, and there are some 15 lakh teachers working with us. And if you see the data of AISHE, 1920 or before that, at the average level, 30 to 40% seats are vacant. Of teaching positions, I can say. 30% to 40% seats are vacant. And remember, the policymakers have set the target that every single faculty institute will be converted into multidisciplinary education institute. If some college is running only faculty of arts, in the time to come, I think 2030 or something like that, every college will be turned into multidisciplinary college. Like if we are having arts faculty, then you have to start there. Faculty of science also there, faculty of commerce also, and other MBA and other faculties are also there. Now the question is there, the financial conditions of the states are, I should not say worse, but they are definitely worse. And at the same time, we know what approaches the governments have toward education sector in general, I should say. I'm not talking of higher education only. Because that is the least, I can say, that is the most neglected part of any government there. The days are gone when the professors are appointed as the Minister of Education or Minister of Higher Education. Now, power politics is there, power acquisitions are there. Now, no government is willing to spend more and more on education. And nowadays we see that self-financing institutes are being encouraged there. You may call it permanent non-grant institutes, or you may call them self-financing institutions out there. You decide your own fees. Some committee will be there. Of course, some committee will be there to decide the fees. The fees structure committee will be there, and the fees will be given to the college or university. They will collect the fees from the students, and they will manage the thing there. And then we are not going to see what kind of pay bands are given to the teachers working over there, and also many things are there. My point was there that states are not in the position to implement the things the way the policy makers want it, because they have their own limitations. As I was telling that even in centrally funded institutes like central universities like this one and so many, 40% positions are vacant. 40% positions vacant. And remember, as I told you that every institute is going to have other faculties also. Even somewhere I read in the document that apart from our general education, every university will offer some certificate course in vocational education. Suppose I was discussing some other day with MP teacher. He was saying that CBCS is being introduced, or it is introduced. Choice-based credit system is introduced there. And they are having some 10 faculties there. Some 6 subjects are there, and students are opting those subjects which are not available. These things are going to take place there. And at the same time, there is no limit. There is no limit to what number the student should take the choice-based credit system, or what we call elective option or elective courses. Some teachers were telling me that we are 2 persons working in some college in MP. I'm deliberately naming the state, and the number of students who have opted geography or that sociology is more than 300, 400. So these things are going to, I'm going to say, occur very often. The same thing I told you that infrastructure. Human resource is one thing, infrastructure is another thing. Now, barring few exceptions, in the beginning also I told you that our present infrastructure is not competent and not sufficient enough to accommodate the growing number of students. If you want to improve our GR by 2035 up to 50%, means almost more than 7 crore students will be enrolled in our higher education sector. More than 750 or something like that. And see, if new colleges are not set up, if new universities are not set up, if development grant is not given, I don't know what things are in Telangana, or I should say in Andhra Pradesh. I know something about Maharashtra. Of course, in MP, 95% colleges are run by government themselves. There is no concept of private colleges, management colleges. If there are some engineering colleges, but more than 95% of colleges are run by Government itself. Government college, so and so, government college, so and so. I remember they have recruitment once or twice within a decade. 10 साल में कभी कभार एक मेगा रिक्रूटमेंट निकलता है 10 साल में. Last time, I think 2 years back, some 2,000 teachers were recruited. Since then, no recruitment. Earlier that, there was no recruitment for last 10 years. And let me tell you, as I will tell you, I know something about Maharashtra. In Maharashtra, 90% colleges are aided by government, but they are controlled by private managements. Grantee aided college, we say. And remember, you know, for last 6 to 7 years, UGC is not paying a single rupee under the name of development fund. 2017 was the last plan. 2012 to 17 was the last plan. Since then, UGC did not pay anything under the name of development. Of course, some stride and other things were there, but not a single penny for development fund. Now, if the things are same in Telangana, if the things are same in Andhra Pradesh, the state government doesn't pay a single rupee to any college, I'm talking of Maharashtra, to construct some hall, to classroom, some laboratory or some library, or to buy it. If things are so, my question is, how are we going to turn every college into a multidisciplinary college? How are we going to offer that CBCS pattern to all the students there? Of course, ACB is there. Academic Credit Bank is going to be introduced there. But these things are going to take place there. And my dear friends, the goals are very high, very ambitious targets are set there, but implementation is more difficult there. But as we are part, as we are the stakeholders of this system, we can't run away. We can't run away. And unfortunately, that feedback system is not properly developed. The last ray of hope is feedback system. If you teacher are at the ground level, you are the people or we are the people who are tackling the things there. We have to face the CBCS problem. We have to face the network problem. We know that in certain cases, internet is not there, electricity is not there. So many things are there. We should constantly write to the governments or the committee who are operating the thing. जैसे कि मैं कह रहा था कि last year MP government has started it, and the teachers are facing so many problems there. And duties have been assigned, you have to do this, you have to do that. But the thing is that what we can say, the software that they have developed, you know that nowadays the students don't go to the college to enroll themselves in the physical form. No, they can go to any internet cafe or cyber cafe, and then the college name will be there. They have to select it, and the person who is operating the thing, illiteracy on the part of the digital illiteracy on the part of the student, and on the part of the computer operator sitting over there, make them make the thing. That the student only knows I want this subject, but the computer operator sitting over there does not know whether that subject is available in that college or not, what is the capacity of those colleges or not. So in such cases, the thing is that when some committee is being set up there, and of course, all the issues of this NEP 2020 implementation are not going to be solved overnight or within a year. Definitely not within a year. Because as we go forward, we face some issues. And as we face the issues, we have to write back to the committees there. As I told you that in Maharashtra, last month, some committees set up. Somebody told me that some committees set up or the things have started in Telangana and other parts there. So as and when we face some issues, we should write back to the committee so that in the time to come, we will do that. Now, last thing I would like to say, and I will stop here. Now, policy makers made the policy and they submitted to the nation. देश को अर्पण किया है ना, हमें विश्व गुरु बनना था, हमने देश को अर्पण किया. Okay. The question that who is going to implement these things? Of course, after some gaps, or after a month or 2 months, some special bulletins will be issued by UGC and a Minister of Education there. है ना? Like जैसे KCB का आया था, GRP का आया था, फिर क्या विद्यांजलि का आया. Every year, every month, some booklets or some guidelines will be issued by the UGC and Minister of Education there. But we universities, particularly universities, and here the responsibility of affiliating universities is more there. Affiliating universities have to work hard, or harder than what they used to do that here. Now, as I can say, example of my own university, this university, what we have to do is that in every college, in every university, the college may be autonomous or non-autonomous affiliate. It may be standalone or whatever the degree may be. There must be a NAP implementation committee. Compulsorily, there must be an NAP implementation committee, the committee we have set up in this university. And that committee will monitor all things. What policies are being carried forward to us, what issues are going to be there, and how we can find solution to that. We know that now we have to convert the 3-year degree formula into 4-year degree. We have to convert 2-year master degree to 1 degree. Sometimes BA, BEd is there, BSc, BEd is there, and so many things are there. So every college, every university must be having this NAP implementation committee, and that committee will tackle, because it will develop a mechanism. Otherwise, what generally done, some circular is there, we issue to the teachers, and the teacher do their own way. And there is no proper mechanism to get the feedback, and there is no proper mechanism that the feedback that we receive must be sent to the monitoring agencies or government and so on. So if those things are done in every college, and of course, we must also accept one thing, that there have been so many webinars, there have been so many, workshops on NEP 2020. But what is done there, what things are in the document are read out. है ना? वही तो होता है ना, जो वहाँ है उसी को हमको पढ़ा के दिखाते हैं, पढ़ा के सुनाते हैं. The things are already there. We want workshops. We want workshop to discuss the issues there, to discuss the issues at the implementation level. And only such workshop will help us, because even today, there is, I should not say a complete illiteracy among the teachers about NEP 2020, but there is illiteracy. There is illiteracy. Not all the teachers know all the things there. कुछ लोगों को तो यही पता नहीं कि है क्या. Some people call it new education policy, some people call it national education policy. And we don't know what policies have been there in past and what we or where we arrived at. So our teachers at the same time, I would like to advise my teacher friends sitting over here that in addition to faculty induction program, अगर आप लोगों ने faculty induction program का पूरा guideline पढ़ा है, long, some 30 or 40 page guidelines are there regarding faculty induction program. Why faculty induction program? Earlier it was called orientation program. Now it is called faculty induction program. And why it is framed? It has been observed that the teachers or the people working in higher education setup enter in services without any formal training. अगर किसी को IPS अपॉइंट करना है तो पहले 6 महीने का इसका ट्रेनिंग होता है. किसी को एज ए कलेक्टर अपॉइंट करना है, डिस्ट्रिक्ट कलेक्टर, उसको भी 6 महीने का ट्रेनिंग होता है. इवन कॉन्स्टेबल्स आर गिवन ट्रेनिंग एंड देन दे आर posted somewhere else. But only in higher education, without any formal training, we are introduced as a professor, as assistant professor, and so on and so forth. So FIP is organized to make them aware our goals, our mechanism, our functionalities, and whole system in which they are going to work. And on the same line, I request all the teachers sitting over here that they must implement SIP also, that is Student Induction Program. That is Student Induction Program, because not only teachers must know what NAP is there, our student also must know about it. Therefore, 30-day long or whatever the duration may be, that SIP must be implemented at the college level, at the university level, so that student will come to know about our college, our UGC. I'm sure that when we were student of UG or PG, not many of us were aware of what UGC is there. है ना? जब हम BA या BSc फर्स्ट ईयर को थे, तो मुझे नहीं लगता हम में से सारे लोगों को पता था कि UGC क्या है, ये क्या है, वो क्या है. आज हालात थोड़े से बेटर है, लेकिन पूरी तरह ठीक नहीं. तो in such things, at the implementation measure, I would like to just start by 2 things there. Organize workshops on NAP 2020 in every college. 2-3 colleges are not going to start. And at the same time, you must organize SIP, Student Induction Program, for the student, because they must know what is in NAP, what is in university, what is CBCS, what is ACB, what is online program, and such things they are going to help us. And I'm sure that in the present setup, achieving the goals of NAP 2020 is not possible, but ODL system and online education is the only recourse that we can rely on. And if we do that, I'm sure that in time to come, we will be able to achieve or secure at least 50% goals that have been set in NAP 2020. Thank you very much. Once again, I congratulate the organizers of this international conference and all you, my dear friend, who gave me, in the literal sense, patient learning. Thank you very much. Over to you, Reddy sir.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sir, can I?
Yeah.
He's done.
I have finished whatever I had to say in my whatever way. It is over to you, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Those were some of the learning points with regard to your presentation, sir, which speaks of proper mechanism for training and also what is the level of implementation that is required at the higher education level. Thank you so much, sir. I would like to thank Mushtaq sir and Dr. Ati Bedre sir also for giving their valuable inputs for today's valedictory section. Thank you, sir.
Now, regarding the other things, okay, sir. Yeah, presentation was good, sir. I think what you were speaking is absolutely correct. The times have changed, and now new education policy we are going to implement. And I even read that ABC, that's called academic bank credit, already central universities, which is going to be introduced from this year, which is not there in any of the universities. So that's what private universities not there. Academic bank credit. I came to know that UGC has introduced from 2000. Absolutely correct. I think governments need to spend more money and they need to create more resources for education, which is not happening. I think that is what we are spending more time on popular schemes. Okay, sir. Yeah. So that is a point you mentioned. Your perspective, that's what. So once again, I thank you, sir. Personally, thank you for sharing the session. Even Mushtaq sir also, I like your topic, sir. Your topic is my soul, because personality is what I always appreciate that topic. There's also a book called Autobiography. That also is a very one book, that is Atomic Habits. That's a great book. And
Yes.
even that's what, even one more book, Autobiography of Yogi.
Yes.
That inner self, no, that's what, yeah,
Yes.
that inner self is very, very important. But
Have you read
what I
that
would like
book?
to say, no, because my father asked me to read, but what I want to do
Yes.
is I want to know
Please
whether
read that.
Yeah,
My-
personality, I don't get influence. No, you should know self. But I think according to, because these are final things, final comments. I think there are layers in this universe. Maybe our role is just for a few years, we leave. Then there may be next layer, maybe artificial or something else.
Yes,
So I think it's a very huge, it's a depth topic where we cannot, it's not one birth, I would like to say. That's why life is precious. Just
yes,
hardly we live for a few years and leave. That's what. So it's waste of craving and all this. That's all waste of time. Till last we crave. What you said is correct. If you close your eyes, so it's only dark. So I personally appreciate, sir. Personally appreciate topic. Only thing is, I think time factor. I keep on
yes,
saying
yes.
it's only time factor. That's what, sir. So with this, we end now. I want participants to just give their feedback. But before that, presentations will be definitely done. Yes. Maybe because we are going according to an order. I think that's what, yeah, even national anthem will be there after present, participants feedback, then vote of thanks and national anthem. But I would like to say, I repeat that presentations will be done because I don't want to dishearten anyone. We will continue, and even we have inspection. Inspection is going on our institution for past yesterday, since yesterday. So I'll complete the presentations and I'll leave. Okay. Yeah. So presentation 1 will be in the same link. Presentation 2 will be in the other link. Okay. As usual. Okay. Yeah. So now I want participants feedback. Yeah. Some of participants can give their feedback, maybe another 3 to 4 minutes. You can share your feedback, whatever you felt. So we have strived from our side. Now it is your side. You can share your feedback, whatever you found, what, the highlight of certain things here. Okay. Yeah. You can introduce, madam. Yeah, anyone can unmute yourself. Unmute. Yeah. So all the participants will be unmuted. You can give your feedback and give valuable feedback, whatever you felt, or you felt some of the things, whatever maybe grievances.
Good evening, sir. This is Mallesham, a research scholar from KL University. I am working as assistant professor in Valedictory College of Engineering, Warangal. So it is a very informative session, sir. We feel very happy, especially whatever the Mustaq has said about personality. So how we are living today, there's a realistic situations. He gave the examples as well as whatever our UGC, sir, that is his name, can say. So sir also gave one appreciation because based on the open book system nowadays, all in the diploma we are only implemented. Even came to some colleges. Okay, sir. And the madams also said very well present. They gave very well presentation. So it is very good. Thank you for giving this opportunity, sir. Charan, sir.
Yeah,
Thank
good,
you, sir.
Good, Malaysia. Yeah, good.
Thank you, sir.
Hello.
Participant.
Good afternoon, Kannar Dr. Sucharan Reddy, Professor of English, Gopuraj Institute of Engineering and Technology. And Mustaq sir, today's man of the day today. Mustaq sir, really a fantastic lecture we heard. Even most of the students have to listen to you first.
Thank you. Thanks. Thank you.
We are there here along with you. At the same time, your services required to all the institutions. We definitely will invite one day.
Sure.
And at the same time, our UGC director, Sir Sagar sir, has really given the informative kind of things. Because it is necessary to understand what's happening over. Most of the writing institutions don't know actually the policies what they are getting. Even CBCS, choice based credit system, is to be introduced indeed. This CBCS system is being introduced in the foreign countries long back. Struggling with it. So it is imposed. The education system totally imposed on the students to learn this and read this, so that if really these implementations will be taken place in every institution, especially if it comes to autonomous institutions or the other private deemed to be universities, definitely the students will come to those institutions and implement them according to their wish. The students have to learn the education. That's important, because how long we have to move on this all conventional mode of educational kind of policies. So government has to think over it and director from UGC is really fantastic, and the foreign, the lecture from USC also was really very good, right? Regarding journals and the research methodologies was also fantastic to listen to this. Of course, Sucharan Reddy is one of my classmates and best friends. Congratulations, Sucharan Reddy, for conducting such a wonderful international conference, right, among our friend circle. You are the first person who conducted international conference. Thank you so much for inviting, and thank you all the right participants at the same time, right, the speakers today. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon,
Good afternoon.
sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to the dignitaries present in the seminar and the faculty members. I am Dr. Neeli Ramesh, Assistant Professor of English, Dean Naranam Institute of Technology and Sciences, Hyderabad. The seminar, the international conference, the topics whichever they were selected and delivered by the eminent personalities and speakers, it was very good and informative, and moreover, it was very useful. And coming to today's session, the valedictory session by Mustaq sir, it was a wonderful one, and it enlightened, and moreover, we come to know about personality, many things we learned. And coming to the second session by Director HRD sir, it's about NEP 2020. Sir, regarding this NEP 2020, I have recently attended a 2-day national conference, which is organized in the premises of Osmania University, which is conducted by ABHRM, Osmania University, and Telangana Higher Education. This is conducted, and moreover, Governor was the chief guest for this program, and Central Education Minister was in a valedictory session, and somehow we come to know many things about this NEP policy, how it is going to be very helpful for teachers as well as students and many organizations and institutions. And this is going to be really a very good one, and really we need to take care of implementing this one in the coming years. And thank you for giving me this great opportunity, Sucharan sir. And as I have given a chance to present a paper in this virtual conference, and moreover, it's a very good one conducting during this pandemic time even. And I heartfully thank the organizers, and especially Sucharan sir and many other faculty members for giving this great opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yeah, one more.
Okay. Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah. Good afternoon.
Yes. Yes, I'm Ajit Kumar Dey speaking here.
Yes.
Such types of seminar I am very much benefited, and thanks to all of you, the organizers, the participants, and I think it is a very highly educated and knowledgeable seminar as well. And in future, I expect to participate in such seminars, but I would like to inform you that my presentation is still remaining. So if you give me chance to present my paper, I'll be highly obliged to you. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, sure, sir. See, the B series link will be shared in the chat box immediately after this. So I think with this,
am I B series?
Yeah, that B series, yes. So yours is in A series. So A series will continue with this platform. B series will be, it will be typed here, sir. So
my paper ID is A13.
No, sir, don't worry. I'll give you the chance. So we'll move towards now vote of thanks, then national anthem. Then after that, we will, continue the paper.
I would like to say something. Sir, I would like to say something. I'm Dr. Suruchi from RKST PG College, Kathal, Haryana. And it's really been a pleasure being a part of such a magnificent sort of a workshop and a conference. I thought it to be a workshop only because I took it as a workshop, although I am presenting my paper on LSRW's challenges. But still, it was really wonderful hearing you all, especially Dr. Sucharan Reddy is my guide also, PhD guide. So he had really been a great mentor. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to be a part of this conference. Thank you so much, and congratulations to all the organizers. Thank you so much.
One last word. I think Sucharan Reddy sir will allow us. Thank you so much. I'm from this place, Vishakhapatnam of Andhra Pradesh. Starting from the context that you have set, especially for the need of LSRW skills and its teaching. Of course, from the beginning, the resource personnel that you have chosen, almost wonderful. And special thanks to all the team of Sucharan Reddy from Gokaraju Rangaraju Institute. Did all the best, starting from January and then mid-February. You have put in a wonderful effort, and I'm very happy to have a lot of my team who have shared their presentations and then succeeded in enjoying the spirit of giving away presentation. Thank you so much, one and all here.
Yeah, yes, sir. Thank you. Now we'll move towards the next one, vote of thanks. Okay. Yeah. After that, national anthem, and we will follow again the presentations. We'll continue and we will complete that. Okay, sir. Haribabu, sir. We will continue and we will
Yes.
complete it. Yeah. Just few presentations left. Yeah. Vote of thanks.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Now, I would like to invite Dr. S. Rajeshwari ma'am, Associate Professor, Department of Humanities and Sciences, GRIT, to propose the vote of thanks. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, Aruna ma'am. Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to all. It gives me an immense pleasure to deliver the vote of thanks on this occasion to all the dignitaries assembled online on behalf of Department of Humanities and Sciences, Faculty of English, GRIT, Hyderabad. I would like to thank our Day 1 Chief Guest, Dr. Khalid Al-Mashaki, for sharing the challenges faced during pandemic in teaching learning English and the quality of online teaching. Now, I would like to thank the keynote speaker, Professor K. Venkat Reddy, for negotiating a diachronic account of teaching LSRW skills in our country and the methodologies followed. I would like to extend my thanks to Mrs. Veena Krishnamurthy for enlightening the importance of intercultural communication in educational establishments and the impacts of cultural identity. A special thanks to Dr. K. Ilango for acknowledging us the flow of teaching, learning, trajectory of English, and the characteristics of learners today. And also thank you, sir, for providing a wish list. How should the classroom be? I thank from the core of my heart, Professor Natalia Noblock, for the insights on choosing the appropriate journal, structuring of article, formatting of article, submission, communication with the editor, and by keeping expectations realistic. Ma'am, thank you for patiently answering to all the questions. Thank you once again. I would also thank Dr. Anand Mahanan for sharing the need for alternative forms of assessment and advantages being done. I would like to thank our Day 2 guest of honor, an eminent speaker, Mr. Mohammad Mustaq, for sharing with us all the essential skills and making a wonderful interaction. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
I would extend my thanks to our Day 2 Chief Guest, Dr. R.T. Bedri, for sharing a clear picture of education system and the changes happening in education policies. I would like to thank our management, Dr. J. Gangaraju, Chairman, GRES, and Sri G.V.K. Rangaraju, Vice President, GRES, for giving an opportunity to organize the conference. I would like to thank our respected CEO, GRES, Sri M.G. Shekaram, who explored the importance of English language and extending support for the successful program. I would like to extend my thanks to our beloved director, GRIT, Dr. Jindal N. Murthy, for being with us throughout the process. To add, I would like to thank our dear principal, Dr. J. Praveen, GRIT, for his timely support and encouragement and making this event possible. My sincere thanks to Dr. K.S.N. Raju, SEO, GRIT, for all the support. My heartfelt thanks to our HOD, Department of Humanities and Sciences, Dr. G. Patrick, for being with us all the time. I would like to thank all the chairpersons and paper presenters for your cooperation and smooth functioning of all the sessions. I would like to thank all the staff members teaching and non-teaching. and the participants, students, and last but not the least, our beloved audience for making this event a grand success. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, I would like all the participants and all the dignitaries attending the conference to please stand by for the national anthem, which would be rendered by Sharat Chandra of our rhythms team, GRIT. To you, Sharat.
Thank you.
Welcome.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उत्कल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाता जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
Thank you all.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sharat.
Okay, thank you all.
Dear candidates and participants, those whoever presented papers can leave, and B series presenters, B series candidates to present their papers can go to that another Zoom link that is duly posted in the chat box.
Yeah.
Chaitanya sir.
Yes, yeah, they're starting, sir. Yeah, they're starting.
Yeah, yes, sir. I'll join the paper presentation session.
Yeah, we will be in this meet, sir. And we'll call by the candidates. I request other candidates, those who have presented papers in A series today, can leave. And the people who did not, the candidates, the participants who did not present papers for today in series A can stay back. Series B candidates can join in another link. The link is posted in the chat box. Krishna Chaitanya sir?
Yeah, are we continuing the same links?
The same. This is the same link we are going with. Series A, the list we have. And the last presenter we stopped was
okay, right.
Was Pratima Chauhan, I guess.
Let's start.
We'll go with A12, serial number A12, code number A12. Dr. Sophia and K. Durga Rao, I guess. Sophia. Seems Dr. Sophia and Durgara were not there in the meet. Let's proceed to the next presenter. A4, Ajit Kumar. Oh, it's A14 and A13. A13, Rajarajan, Diveshri. Dr. Rajarajan and C. Diveshri.
Good evening, sir. Sir, can you just repeat the names of the presenters who are to present in this link by the time the other people join?
This link is exclusively for Series A, and we have stopped with the code A11, and the next one is A12. The A12 series number person is Dr. Sophia and K. Durgara. Since they are not available in the meet, we are going to series A13, code A13, C. Diveshri and Dr. S. Rajarajan. Is that so, Dr. Chaitanya sir?
Yeah, that is it.
Participants are given unmute option. So code number A13, C. Diveshri and Dr. S. Rajarajan. So let's move on to the next one, sir. Code number A14, Ajit Kumar.
Yeah, next one.
Chat box.
We'll go to the next presenter. Code number A15, Miss Heba Raji. So the next presenter, A16, code number A16.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Yes, over to you, sir.
Am I audible, sir?
You are audible. You are given co-host too.
Thank you.
Mr. Jitin, sir, if you're ready, we'll
Yes,
go with your presentation.
I'm ready, sir. So I'm sharing my screen, sir.
Please go ahead.
Is it visible?
Yes, it is visible. Please continue.
Yes. Good evening to the chairperson and all the participants over there. Yes, I introduce myself. I'm Jitin, research scholar from Periyar Revere College, Tiruchirappalli, Tamil Nadu. And today, my topic about this was the cultural ecology, anthropocentrism versus ecocentrism on Tim Pinton's Shallows and an Open Summer. This talks about the culture, how the cultural changes that keeps on moving and how it affects the environment which causes the great damage to the human people in a circle. So I have selected Tim Winton's novel. So he was an Aboriginal Australian writer. He had written more than 12 novels, and it has been translated into 25 and so many languages all over the world. This novel, Shallows, has been awarded the Miles Franklin Award, and this novel, Shallows and Open Swimmer, was about the people of the Australian coast and the species over the oceans, and how the culture has been the more important factor for the demolition of the nature. It has been explained. And I have chosen the theory called ethnoecology. So here, ethno talks about the people, which ecology relates to the environment. So it is a multidisciplinary study of knowledge system of local people and about their own relationship with their surrounding environment. So I have been implementing this ethnoecology in the field of literature, so that people should coexist with nature and they should live in an integrated relationship. So there are only two main characters I have been focusing upon. So in Open Swimmer, I'm focusing on Jira, a man, so a boy who is very much interested in fishing, and his character revolves around the ocean. And in Shallows, I have chosen the character Queenie Cookson. Her character also related to the ocean, and she was fond of big fishes like whales, and she is the one who wanted to save the environment. So these two characters was very much interesting in cultural development, how these peoples are concerned toward the nature and how they wanted the nature to be back for them. So there is a human greed which takes the exploitation in a much higher way. I wanted to quote the cultural development here. So during the older days, people are in a kith and kin relationship with their environment, and due to the cultural enhancement, or they got some materialistic mind, the people, and they greed for the money. They made the environment to an economic purpose. They just they just stays in a higher position, and they wanted the nature as low as them, and they wanted to exploit their whole environment for their own economic purpose or greed. So it is more important that the marine, each and every marine species is more important for their economic or the ecosystem to run in a constant way. So anthropocentrism is the concept that it is the destruction of nature. Here the character Jira and Queenie Cookson, who wanted nature to be stable. The Westerners who came from the other countries, they developed the inhabitant culture of the particular country. So in Australia, we can see that the Westerners who came from England and other countries, they developed their culture over Australia. The indigenous people of Australia changed to the Western culture, and this made the people to think in a materialistic way. The whaling is a main progress in Australian coast, and that made the whales to exploit, and by exploiting the whales, the other creatures was in a dangerous spot. So the conservation of nature, which comes under the ecocentrism. My paper related to this.
Sorry to interrupt you, sir. Could you please wind it up with the time?
Yeah. Sure, sir. So my paper's concern was how the anthropocentrism changes to ecocentrism. So when the culture and the develops, the nature got exploited, the human cultural development and the greed made the people to exploit nature. The hierarchy leads to the anarchic. I quote Nirmal Selvamani's Ico-Poetics that hierarchy, which says that there is a kith and kin relationship, but that relationship stays only up to a certain point. After that, the hierarchy, that people are in a higher position, and they wanted the nature to be dependent for them. They made nature uh, for money, for economic purpose, that leads to a high distraction. So people distract nature, and to over a certain period of time, the anchor of nature that causes the human or that causes the world to exploit, that came the problem. So people reconstruct or self-construct nature. So in Barry's eco-criticism, I can quote the wilderness to domestic pictures, how the pure nature is transformed to a domestic pictures. So in Barry states that there are four types of areas: wilderness, scenic, sublime, countryside, and domestic pictures. In wilderness, he quotes deserts, oceans, where there is no human inhabitation. But scenic, sublime, in that area, people wanted to explore the wilderness of nature, and they make their inhabitants into nature. Thus, in domestic pictures,
Thank you.
people.
Please conclude.
Yeah, sure, sir.
We have 15 participants.
Yeah, sure, sir.
Thanks.
So, yes, sir. So in domestic pictures, there is a reconstruction. People construct parks, gardens, and lanes for that, so that they can live along with nature. So according to this process, the conservation of nature begins. So the anthropocentrism and the cultural development leads to ecocentrism, which is the concern towards nature. Thank you, sir.
Well, thank you very much. Because of time constraints, I'm unable to ask the questions and involve participants. Thank you. The next one. Next, the details are mentioned in the chat box.
Yes, sir. The next presenter is series A17, code number A17. S. Sri Sakuntala and Dr. Sarakanan Srinivas.
I hope the presenters are done.
Last code number A18. Dr. Rutu.
Sir, we have not. Sir, we haven't presented our paper.
What is your code, ma'am?
I didn't get the code, and I know.
Kindly check your mail. You kindly check your mail. You might have got the code number. So we'll go according to it.
Okay, sir. Okay. So, sir, can you send the link for the B group? Maybe it's in
already
the
in
B
the
group
chat
then.
box. It is already in the chat box, ma'am. You can just check. Go through it.
Oh, sir, it's not there.
It's there. Chaitanya, sir, I think we have done for the day. Dr. Ruchi, ma'am, I'm just sharing the link again in the chat box. Can you acknowledge?
Sir, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I haven't have done my paper, sir.
Ma'am, did you give your presentation?
No, ma'am. No, sir, I haven't given my presentation.
Tell me the code number.
In the mail, it's written as A1 to A17. I haven't received any particular code number.
Josna, it's given in the. No, it isn't there here. It's not there in A series.
But my mail has shown me that I'm in the A1 to A17 series, sir.
Okay, ma'am. Then are you ready to give your
Sir,
presentation?
A7 also not yet done, sir.
Sir,
We call G Sunil sir. We call you many a number of times, but you were
Sir.
not available. Even though, are you ready to give your presentation?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm ready.
Sir, excuse me, sir. Sir,
Yes,
I am
ma'am.
also, sir, I just joined the link that you had shared and it again directs me towards this link only. I mean, this chat only.
Okay, ma'am. Dr. Krishna Chaitanya sir, I request you
Yes, yes.
personally from my side. There are only 3 presentations that we can go through, and we'll wind up
Yeah, no
soon.
problem. We will continue.
Now, G Sunil sir, A7, we'll start with you. After Sunil sir, Josna ma'am, you get ready, and after Josna ma'am, Dr. Suruchi ma'am, you get ready. We'll try to finish your presentation soon. Over to you, Sunil sir.
Sir,
Thank you.
sir,
Sir,
after
thank
me
you, sir.
first.
Sir, please allow me to share the link screen, sir.
You're given permission.
Thank you, sir. So sorry, sir, I am unable to share my screen, sir.
Hello.
Anyway, sir.
Am I audible? Hello.
Good evening to conference chair and all the presenters. I am G. Sunil, working as an assistant professor of English, Gitanjali College of Engineering and Technology. This is a joint paper presentation with Dr. B. Nagamani, professor of English. We are going to present a paper on language and technology. We are living in a digital era, and a teachers by profession, we deal with digital natives. Inventions and innovations have brought in great change in our lives, both personal and professional. English as the language of science and technology is no exception for this change. English language and technology are entertwined and interrelated. They complement each other. Technology is all encompassing in the context of education. It is a broad term that refers to digital applications, e-learning and personal computers. Teaching or learning a language through technology gives more opportunities for reading beyond classroom, self-learning and peer learning. In addition, technology has to be incorporated in teaching a language as it facilitates second language learning and helps in improving students' literary skills. The present paper discusses the various ways through which technology can be used to promote language learning, trying to bridge the gap between digital natives and digital migrants. Before I start my presentation, I have a few questions. How many of you know when is the World Emojis Day celebrated? And how many of you see emojis in your WhatsApp messages? Please post in the chat box. And how many of you know the meaning of all the emojis we use to express? Please post on the chat box. Thank you. Blended learning has provided several opportunities to use mobile in the classroom. Even during offline classes, fear of spreading or being infected by virus, supplying handouts to students is reduced to a large extent. Study materials or additional information or activities are sent through WhatsApp groups, while assignments were sent either using group mails or Google Classroom. Thus, technology has become an integral part in our professional life, keeping aside the personal front. On Zoom, right-hand bottom middle, you find the icon reactions. If you join through mobile, click on more button, click on more bottom right corner and answer the question, how are you? On Zoom, right-hand bottom middle, you find the icon reactions. If you join through mobile, click on more on the bottom right corner and answer the question, how are you? Yes. Realizing fact that we use several emojis in our WhatsApp conversation, vocabulary developing activity using emojis available in the mobiles are used. Students were asked to open the different emojis available on their mobiles. In a classroom of 48 students were divided into pairs and were instructed to select any 5 emojis and give the corresponding emotions, that is GIFs. As a next step, they were asked to write at least 3 to 4 synonyms. Then they were informed to write a paragraph in 50 words using the vocabulary. They wrote against the emojis and uploaded on the Google Classroom. Caution: teacher has to ensure that no two teams selected the same emojis. Observation: students enjoyed working with emojis. Pair work promotes meaningful discussion. As students enjoy using these emojis, learning vocabulary is interesting. Vocabulary is learned in association. Hence, chances of remembering are more. The same vocabulary is used in writing a paragraph. The student learn to use it correctly. Extension activity. Students can use the emojis and can tell about themselves. So learning beyond classroom through technology. There are several tools that can be used to develop learning beyond classrooms. One best tool is Quizzes. Quizzes is an Indian educational software company founded in 2015, Bangalore. Founded by Ankit Gupta and Deepak Joy Chinath, headquartered in Bangalore, India. It creates and sells a gamified students engagement platform. The software is used in classes, group assignments, pre-test reviews, formative assessments, and pop quizzes. Basic features are available for free. However, if required, the plan can be uploaded by paying the specified amount. Since quizzes is limited to single select or multi-select multiple choice quizzes, it will likely be best for helping students recall facts and prepare for traditional tests. Using quizzes as an in-class quiz game or assign it for homework for students to complete on their own. While teachers can create quizzes brand new, there is also a handy database with tons of existing quizzes and questions that can be grabbed and edited as needed. The after quiz reports generated automatically make it easy to use quiz result to restructure instruction. Teachers can see how students perform on each question and use that information to figure out what need to be retaught and readdressed, as well as which students might need some individual or small group reinforcement. Secondly, quiz creation is made pretty easy with quizzes. Teachers might invite different students each week to generate a quiz to rewrite the week's material. In addition, teachers can also use quizzes to each specific vocabulary. For example, travel vocabulary, resume vocabulary, business vocabulary, etc. This task can also be assigned to students. It allows the students to engage actively in learning. Thus, proper use of technology helps in promoting learner-centric and learning-centered classes. Thank you. Nagamani ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Sunil. And I would like to inform you here in this context, this is an action research project that has been taken up in the class. During the English for communication skills development, we have one course which exclusively deals with vocabulary. So this is how we have made the students remember and realize the importance of vocabulary. Thank you for giving us the opportunity. If there are any queries, I'd be more than delighted to answer them.
Thank you for the presentation, ma'am. Without any delay, we will go to the next presentation due to the time constraint. Questions may not be asked, but definitely constructive feedback will be taken on written paper. Thank you, ma'am. Over to you, Josna, ma'am. Dhyana, Josna, ma'am, if you are not ready, we'll move on to Dr. Suruchi. Josna, ma'am, you're given co-host. Okay, thank you, Josna, ma'am. We'll move on to Dr. Suruchi. Suruchi, ma'am.
Hello, sir. Is my voice audible, sir?
You're audible, ma'am.
Sorry, my network has been glitching a little because I'm driving. So sorry for the late response. I would not take so much of time. First of all, let me say thanks to all the GRIET faculty and team that put a lot of hard work in putting such a beautiful conference. I would like to talk about language proficiency and the difficulties that the present generation is having. Language proficiency, first of all, is actually needed in target language because mother tongue generally is a language that is coming from imitation and with others around you in your family, your friends, and everybody. But coming to target language, first of all, I would like to say no matter how much exploitation has been done because of Britishers, one thing I'm thankful because of British colonization of India is they have introduced a new language. I think not many will agree to my statement, but I think that is the best thing that happened in India because of British rule here. Target language has become a problem to many native, non-native speakers till date, actually, be it students, be it adults, be it intellectuals, anybody. But I would like to say that any language, especially target language that is English, that's going on right now in this present generation, needs a lot of proficiency. Proficiency actually improves the confidence in the individual because I see many students, many employers, be it who are in higher standards or be it in lower standards, the trainers or the trainees, they have a lot of difficulty in communicating in English. They have such good knowledge. But coming to communication, they cannot actually give out their points when coming to target language. I have observed mainly in my students in my classes that no matter what, the points will be delivered in their mother tongue so effectively. The points are very valid. But when we ask them to speak in their in the target language, they'll be very tensed, very anxious, very worried to speak out because one thing is target language is not taught from their childhood. The second is they are shy of what others might think of them. These are the two main reasons why individuals are not taking target language seriously. And I would like to say that there are two techniques to improve the proficiency. When I say proficiency, I say all the skills listening, speaking, reading, and writing. The main theme of this virtual conference. The two main techniques are old school and the modern techniques. As you all know, old school means imitating the native speakers, listening to them, and trying to talk to yourself in the front of the mirror, talking to your peers, no matter what mistakes you do, and all that. but modern techniques can help you with lots of edtech tools. For example, you can have many online tools like Flipgrid, which helps you in practicing your speaking skill online. And you have certain certificate courses like Ed or I, which helps you in regulating your speech, your intonation, and your neutralization of accent. So there are a lot of modern techniques that can help students in improving, not only students, other technical student individuals as well. So I would like to say, if the target language is introduced from a very early stage of education, and if the target language is encouraged in every field of work, the individuals who try to communicate with multicultural people can be comfortable, they can talk in the target language with ease and comfort. And I have taken this as a challenge among my students in making them realize the importance of this target language. No matter what, once they come to our communication lab in the college, they have to they have to speak English, no matter how much nervous they are. No matter how many mistakes, we don't care. And we also instruct the students in our lab to not laugh or comment other students, because one thing that that tears an individual down is criticism and comments. We know that positive criticism can improve an individual's performance, but in today's generation, we can see people just making fun of others when they do not get the right idea. So, my paper is on how to, you know, be proficient, like in all the four skills, and how to make sure that an individual is very comfortable in speaking in target language. So this is my presentation of my paper. I hope it is clear. I hope my idea is totally clear to all of you. I have tried my best, and thank you for this opportunity. Thank you so much. And I'm sorry for all the technical glitch I've faced right now. Thank you, sir. Hello. Would you mind asking any questions if you have? I'll be much happy to answer. Hello. Krishna Chaitanya, sir.
Yeah, seems there are no questions to be asked, ma'am.
Okay, sir.
Thank you for the presentation, ma'am.
I know this is a wide, broad area of presentation, sir. But then I tried my best to let my idea come in front of the audience. So thank you for giving me this opportunity, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ma'am, over to you.
Good evening, sir. I would like to share screen. Sir, with your permission, kindly permit me to share my screen.
Ma'am, you have given permission. You are actually given permission, and you are actually co-host.
Okay, sir. So is my screen visible?
No, ma'am. Ma'am, if you try from your mobile, it may not work, I guess.
Sir, I'm trying from my mobile itself.
Yeah, it may not work, I guess.
Okay, okay. So, sir, what? Okay, sir, that's not an issue. I would be presenting it otherwise also. The topic of my paper is the role of LSRW skills in learning English, changes and challenges. As we all are aware that communication is the backbone of our society, I have divided, actually it was a presentation, so I had divided my presentation in 3 parts. One was improving your spoken English skills. The second is improving your reading, writing and listening skills. And the last one was committing to your new language. So if I talk about communication skills, as we all know, 45% of the skills that are attained is listening skills, 30% are the speaking skills, 16% are the reading skills and 9% are the writing skills. And as we all know that skills they are receptive or reproductive, productive or creative skills. And in receptive skills we do have reading and listening, in which the learner remains passive. My presentation was basically focusing on how we can improve our spoken English. So I had taken up few points. Number one, the person needs to attend to some English class, some discussion groups, some webinars, conferences where they are more exposed to speaking English. The peer group there would actually be speaking in English, and that would really help the student or the person who's interested in enhancing the knowledge, especially the knowledge of the language. The uh, the participation will ensure that the person comes to know about the right pronunciation, the eye contact, the body language. All those things can be taken up at one jam from attending a class or a discussion group. The second aspect was whatever the person has learned must be recited, must be spoken out every day, and that's the person should speak a little English every day so that they can incorporate the things that they have learned so far. Then they should work on pronunciation, and the best aspect of working on pronunciation was to either talk in a peer group, attend webinars, take up short stories, read them, and enhance the speaking skills. The fourth aspect that was taken was that if one wants to learn English, one can also work on the expansion of the vocabulary with the use of idiomatic phrases. And these days we do all carry the dictionary with us, the Google Baba, that's already there in our phone, that helps, that works for us as a Wikipedia or as a Leviathan reservoir of all the things that are required for a student to enhance his or her English working techniques. The second aspect of my presentation was on improving writing, reading, and listening skills. So first, one needs to put up more efforts on listening to English radio or podcasts. One can also listen to songs in English with lyrics there. Watch movies and TV shows, that too helps in learning English, acquiring the language. One can go through small short stories with easy English and keep up the diary of all those words that one has learned all through them. Apart from them, one can chat also. These days, chat is in fashion. It's a vogue to chat. And especially the students, they try to write, but even in that also, one is not bothered about the colloquial English that they are using. For example, instead of writing YOU, they just write the letter U. Instead of writing SEEC, they just write C, the capital, the alphabet C. And the third part of my presentation was committing to your new language. That is one of the most important aspects where these skills, they actually help to overcome the challenge that is more challenging. Number one needs to commit to the new language. One needs to remain self-motivated, stay motivated. That's most important, because if you're not motivated enough, you may leave behind the things. You may unlearn the things. You may forget the things. You may forget, because it's a process of learning, relearning, unlearning, and again trying to relearn things. So ultimately, one needs to practice every day, because whatever learning a new language is based on repetition only. Whatever you repeat, you learn. And then you never need to think that you can all of a sudden start speaking in English. It's just a matter of 30 days. No, it can be a matter of hardly 2 days if you practice and practice and practice and acquire things and adapt to the changing environment that can help you to grasp things easily. Make friends that can help you speak in English and make you more confident. Don't be afraid of your mistakes, because to error is human. And especially when you are talking in your non-native language, when you're talking in a second acquired language, there is always a problem, there's always a hitch, and one needs to be motivated for that. So sir, that was all for my presentation and the role of all these skills. Though I have elaborately discussed them, because of the hitch of time, I couldn't go through the whole of the paper, but I hope I've tried to present the best I could. Thank you so much, sir, for providing me this opportunity. And if any questions, I'm ready there to answer. Hello.
I don't think there are questions, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for providing me the opportunity.
Thank you, ma'am. Krishna Chaitanya, sir, hope we are done. With your permission, I would like to close the session.
Sir, I think one participant of yours is left because she's repeatedly writing down in the chat box. Dr. Kusum.
Kusum.
Yes, sir.
Dr. Kusum, I want you to respond. Please unmute. You can unmute from your side because allow participant. Yeah, wait. Yeah, I have given permission to.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay. Good evening, everyone.
One thing, ma'am, just tell me whether what is your code number, because you are not there listed here.
I'm not clear about my code number.
You got in your mail, ma'am. The series B or series A?
Series B, sir.
Series B, you're supposed to join another link, no, ma'am.
Sir, I have no link about. There is no information about link B.
I'll post in the group, madam. Hold on, ma'am.
Okay, sir. Please
join there. Hold on.
share the link again.
Be present, ma'am.
Okay, sir. Sir, please share the link.
I am sharing link, ma'am. Please hold.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
That is the links.
Sir, is it in chat box?
Yeah, it is in the chat box. Bitla sir, hold on line, sir.
Sir, have you sent recently?
I have sent just now, ma'am. You can check in the chat box, and again I'm sending.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay, thank you, sir. Now I have received the link. Thank you, sir.
I'll share the certificate link, sir. Bitla, sir. Just give me a minute. Bitla, sir, kindly notice it. I have sent. Thank you, everyone. Chaitanya, sir, we are done. I'm closing the session.
Okay.